this is a show that's needed now because everybody's afraid to talk about what they really want to say.
Yeah.
And she was saying all the stuff that might be offensive, but they were also coming from the perspective of like who she is and how she has to learn, which is dope. Which is why I think the show works.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why the show works.
Yeah. But back on these.
No, I mean, no, actually, you don't even need a segue because he was talking about saying things that need to be said. You know what I'm saying? So that was an easy transition.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because how y'all get on that topic? First of all, y'all know when they pull up, they already get mid.
Yeah.
I be catching up.
You gotta understand, we live like 25 minutes away from Keon, and me and Gary live probably like 5 minutes away from each other, maybe 10. And so we'll go pick each other up depending on whatever day, and then, you know, we be in the car driving to Keon's, and sometimes we just like, how's your day, man? How's your day? All right, cool. These.
Yeah.
Like when they walk up, I just hear, and then she said, well, I don't understand why they. So how did y'all get on the topic today?
We trying to figure it out. We trying to figure it out.
But what's the? I honestly don't know what the topic.
We were
was.
talking about accountability.
Oh well.
But
ever going.
But deeper though, like why? In the like the real core of why.
It must be something in the air because that's literally before y'all got here. My video that I'm gonna put on IG, it was literally about
it's all accountability.
Yeah. I just want to know. I want to know. You're raising a daughter, so I want to circle back with you in like 5 years and be like, is this something they've always done?
It's gonna be like
that's taught. Or I want to know if it's in their DNA. Like, why can't you just be like?
And you just saying you're raising a daughter. In my mind, I'm like telling her at 7, like. You're fucking beautiful, and if somebody tells you anything that you disagree with, you tell them, "How dare you talk to me
so that's
this
why
way? I'm fucking gorgeous.
So it's parents'
I'm beautiful.
fault?
How dare you speak to me that way?"
So you're gonna raise her with no accountability?
Oh, totally. Oh,
So
100%. Why? Beautiful.
Why?
Why does she need to be accountable? She's gonna be fucking beautiful.
But here's the, you know, and that's interesting though. I think it does kind of come from the parents because it's like a daughter, a father. If the father's in the daughter's life, a lot of times he does raise her with the princess mentality, right? Mm-hmm. So if he's raising her with the princess mentality, it's like when she meets a guy, it's just like the audacity.
The audacity for you to make me feel this way.
Yeah, it's like my father, the greatest man I've ever known. And that's just the thing. Sometimes their father is the best person, the best man they ever met. So it's just like. He's great. He treats my mom like this. He treats me like this. Why aren't you? And why aren't you? My mother says something. He shuts up. He just does what she says. Why aren't you doing this?
Yeah.
But what? This is what I don't understand. That's relationship based. I'm just in life. They have no accountability in life, and I want to know where that comes from.
Like at work,
nothing's their fault. Nothing's their fault.
You know what's funny?
It's always something else.
Do you think it's different when it comes to the workplace? Because I think when there's a hierarchy at their job, I feel like they'll fall in line more times than not.
But they'll do it because they don't want to get fired. But then they'll go home and be like,
there's stakes.
It wasn't my fault. So I want to know the core of why is it never your fault.
The thing, okay,
that's what I want to know.
I don't think they come into it like it's not their fault. I think they always have an explanation. For like, I want you to, before you chastise me, I want you to know exactly everything that went on in my head as to why things transpired the way that they did before you attack me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want you to know every fucking detail, and there's gonna be so many tangents.
So it's not my fault. So that's smart because it goes to them. It's like it's not my fault if some shit happened to me earlier in the day, and now I'm feeling this way. It's like, well, the baby, who happened with the baby at 8 a.m., this is why I'm pissed off at 1 p.m. It's just like, we look at it like, nigga, that's
what happened right now.
Yeah. All I hear is coaches, that's an excuse.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But here's the thing.
That's all I hear in my head.
Which is why the head coach for Connecticut women's basketball team is like the greatest coach that's ever. Nigga, how do you...
Well, here's the thing, though. I think when you talk about different types of women, I think the athletes that I have been with, like female wise, it's like they kind of
been with male athletes.
I don't know why. That's a great joke.
I don't know why you needed that disclaimer.
Yeah, right. That was perfect, right? I was set myself.
Just trying to be divisive.
You see, I held myself accountable right there. That's easy. I made a bad whatever. Anyways, right? So like. And I feel like when you're dealing with like a female athlete, a lot of times when they're dealing with stuff like that, they kind of have to hold themselves accountable making a bad play. And have you ever dealt with an athlete before? Mm-hmm. And it's like, do you feel like when it comes to dealing with them and then a normal girl, that their kind of mindset is different when it comes to stuff like that? For me, it has
been.
been.
Dealing with the
not
man.
Not in all cases,
Yeah,
but
not
for
really.
me,
Not really.
Not really, because who my lady is at work versus who she is in her personal life, she'll tell you like it's two completely different people.
Okay.
Two completely different people.
I'm genuinely interested.
We were really
in
talking
why.
about it though.
I want to know like why can't, okay, so like by the time this come out, my video will be out anyway, so I don't care. But like when it comes to the toilet seat thing, we've all been shitting for almost 4 decades now. Never once have I fallen in the toilet. And if I did, which I almost did the other day actually, and I was like,
what, at nighttime?
Huh?
Was it at night or something?
No, it was in the middle of the day. But I was just like, I wasn't paying attention. That's how, because I was being dumb. But see how easy that is for me to be like, if I would have fell in, I'd have been like, Keon, you idiot.
You wouldn't have yelled at her.
I wouldn't have said, who did this?
Yeah.
Why is it?
In your head, you go, why weren't you? In our head, we're like, why weren't you
paying attention?
Yeah, exactly.
And their first go-to is somebody else did this to me. Even though I'm functioning in my own body. Well, I chose to sit down without looking. I chose it. How is it somebody else's fault?
Because if they look at it like this, they want things done their way. If things are done their way, none of this stuff ever happens. If you put the toilet seat down, I would never fall in. If you do the dishes a certain way or put this particular thing here, it's not lost. It's all that types of stuff, right? So I think that's the mindset. It's like if you did what I told you to do, I wouldn't have any problems. It's just like, well, at the end of the day, we're like everything doesn't revolve around you. So you can't just operate that way where we have to. It's the same thing we talked about before. Like in a perfect world, this would never happen. But as men, we know the world's not perfect, so we operate that way. We go, okay, cool, my bad. Like I fell in the toilet. I should have been paying attention. We don't first blame somebody because we always take responsibility and accountability for ourselves first. At least good men do.
But like even when I said I almost did, you were like, nigga, how?
Yeah.
What
did you do?
Exactly. How? Yeah. And I was like, not paying attention.
I don't think women are the nature of like what a woman is as her being. I don't think she's allowed to make mistakes. I think they function in a world where they're not really allowed to make mistakes. They have to be like, if you think of the classic like what a woman looks like and like how she presents, it's always very like pristine. It's always like put together in a way. So to see that, like men, we make mistakes. We fuck up all the time. Like men are allowed to fart. Men are allowed to like little faux pas. We're allowed that. They have to present like such perfection. Yeah. Like they have to look good. Like they have to like, so for them to make a mistake in that level of vulnerability is like, hold on, it's almost like a glitch in the system. You know what I mean?
Do you think it's like how did I make a mistake when I always got to come out so perfect anyways? Like I have to pay attention to more shit than you guys have to because of what you said. We have to present perfect, whereas you guys don't.
Where
have to.
Though? Are they all getting straight A's?
No,
where is this other outside of the looks thing? Where do they have to be perfect? Where?
Looks.
Who says that?
Looks.
They'll probably say like at work, right? They probably feel like they have to be more.
Everybody has to do their job at work.
But they probably have to feel like they're more on top of their shit because they are a woman, right? It's like they probably look at it like, all right, since she's a woman, that's why she made this mistake. So it's like I have to be more perfect than a guy at work because there could be more pressure on me because I'm a woman and I'm known for being less than, weaker than, not as smart as.
Okay. And as a black, I can understand that mentality. However, if I do shit, it's still on me. I just want the core of why it's never your fault. Like Gary was saying, even if you explain why this happened, and we know things happen. If I show up somewhere late and there was traffic, we know, okay, that happens, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know there's traffic. I probably should have left earlier. Or just in case.
Or there's traffic always around this time.
Right.
Yeah.
Or freak accident, But it's just like, and even if you just be like, my bad, because people know that there are things that happen, they would forget that, they give grace. People give grace.
Yeah.
Like, people give grace. Like,
I guess what type of partner do you have, right? Do you have a partner that's like, that always throws stuff in your face when they are wrong? So let's say,
just open it. Just open the door.
You fell in the toilet?
No, she didn't fall in the toilet.
I thought she fell in the toilet. Who fell in the toilet?
He fell in the toilet.
I said I almost fell in the toilet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, but I made a video about how messy women's bathrooms are, and they brought up the toilet seat thing, and all the dudes was like, we sit down too, and we don't fall in. Yeah. So you're just dumb. But here's the thing too. It's okay to be dumb at a time. When somebody says you're dumb, that doesn't mean you're dumb all the
All
time.
for everything,
Not,
yeah.
To them, it is.
It
To
just
them,
meant
it's-
in this particular situation,
Nope.
that was dumb.
I have to be
once-
perfect. I have to be adequate in
Like,
every
that's
aspect
it.
of
No,
life.
but once you say a word, especially to a lady like that, once you say a word to them like that, you're calling them what it is. You're not saying the situation was dumb. You just called them an idiot.
Yeah.
You
And
were.
And
in
how
that-
dare you make me
in
feel this
that
way? I'm a
particular thing.
beautiful person. My dad told me I was. Why do dads project that onto them? Is it their own like? Are they what is it called? Like, is it something?
I think dads do that. Well, why are you gonna do it? Let's start there.
Well, because of what I used to do to
That's
women.
why.
Yeah, that's what I was
That's
getting
why.
to. I was like, well,
They do it because they know
the guilt. I feel guilty.
They know what how easy it is to get a broken,
But
broken,
Gary's
non-confident
been
person.
doing it though. Remember, Gary said he likes to call women goddesses when he's inside of them, whether they're white or
I
whatever.
don't like to. I don't like to, but if I feel that,
You goddess, you
no,
goddess,
you got it, you.
you white Nubian goddess,
Oh.
you. So it's
Now.
like, so it's
It's
already
so stupid.
So is it already the, is it one of those things like that's already what you kind of in your head was just like, well, I kind of already lift women up, and that was I think the reason why I would say it if I had a daughter is because the world is going to be very cruel and ugly to you anyways. So understand that like what people say to you doesn't mean that's what you are.
The world is going to be objectifying.
sure.
And the world naturally just objects women and values women based on their looks, and they have like at the core root of it, in a very naturalistic sense, they have no other out. Like that's just what it is. Either you're gorgeous and you're desirable, or you're not, and you got to figure out a way to be desirable. But even if you're not pretty, all your homegirls are telling you that you're pretty. So now you're entering into like this like mind fuck of like, okay, well, I'm pretty and I dress nice, but I'm still not getting like the attention that I want. So what is it? Like, am I pretty or am I not pretty? And if I'm not pretty, I got to figure out how to be funny. I got to figure out like you know what I mean? Like, what do you do?
Ladies, stop telling your friends that they're pretty if they're not pretty. We got to just, it's going to stop so much like just ego
But
in the world.
what does it do to the woman who's not attractive? What does it do for her? Like, what's her recourse?
Well, I think what the thing is like they can't operate how we do, right? We're like I can go like, oh, this nigga ugly as shit, like to one of the homeboys.
And it's like, but my pockets is nice. But I'm funny as
but not
fuck.
even just
I
that.
got hands and I'm smart.
It could be all that, but also it could be just be like, all right, nigga, so what? Like you said, he can take that differently. We can use harsher words. A woman can't be like, this bitch, you ugly as shit. She can't say that to her homegirl. That'll cause a fight.
Her homegirl has no recourse.
Well, it's that, but I think it's part of that. But I think it's also just the way you say it. Look how when we argue with our girls, if we can't say certain words to them because they'll take that and make that the new argument.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You have to. If I think
Package it?
Yeah, you have to package.
There's no way to package ugly.
I mean, just,
How do you package ugly?
just
How
put
do
it
you
together
package
like
ugly?
that. But I think you can. I think you can be like, girl, you probably got to do this differently, or like. I'm not a woman, so I don't know how to say it, but I feel like there is a way that women have called women ugly for years in a nice way.
Yeah.
But they gotta just do it to their friends more. They don't do it to their friends a lot.
Yeah, they do.
Right.
They say she has a very nice personality.
Yeah.
Or they say like, if you like, what she look like?
Exactly.
She is eclectic.
Yeah.
Like,
she's
they'll
ugly.
figure it
Yeah,
out.
no, she's unattractive. And so when you ask her, they'll be like, oh,
Figure it out.
she's a cool person. She has a great job.
Yeah.
Like they'll start to put it around other stuff. So it's just like.
So how do you say that to your friend though? Be like, girl, what you think about this outfit? You got a great job.
Yeah.
Like, how do you do it?
Remember that comfortable? It looks comfortable. Yeah.
girl look good. You got a great job. I'm looking good tonight. You got a lot of money.
You wearing the shit out of that job, girl.
Like, how do
You are wearing the shit out of
How
that
do you
job.
do it? What do you
That
think about this
401k?
dress? Your personality
Is gonna-
makes that dress.
Your person ain't gonna get a lot of niggas tonight.
Come
But, your face.
I don't.
Yeah, so I mean, I think there is probably a way to package it different. There's no package for us. We just say it. We have no
Because
filter
we
with
have
each other.
other shit. We have other shit
Some
that's
dudes
valuable.
don't,
They
They
don't.
have other
dudes
shit.
don't.
No.
Them niggas got mouthpiece.
Who?
Them niggas know how to talk.
Most niggas do not though.
Most niggas don't.
Ugly
bro.
niggas?
Talk to the women.
Ugly niggas?
They don't,
Yes,
bro.
They
they're.
know how to.
No, they
No,
don't.
they don't, bro.
No, they
The
don't.
Gary, the average, maybe from where
Them
you're
niggas got video games.
Yeah.
Then they got video games.
But what I'm saying is the average guy loses in that perspective.
Niggas
right?
got something.
Something to occupy their
Niggas
time
got something to
something
occupy
to
their
do.
time.
while they
Yeah.
jacking off. They still ugly with no game.
Hey, then he has his community.
They have
Yeah,
community.
this gaming
now.
community would be like, well, nigga, you're cool, you know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. I think guys, we just understand that. Like, I think we know our place in the world. Probably not as much anymore because of social media is messing stuff up. But for the most part, I think the average guy knows their place in the world way better than women do when it comes to like their actual value when it comes to where they can get women at.
You know what though?
So what I said, social media kind of messed it up now because like you'll see the fat uncle Bluetooth niggas be like they holler at a bad
And they in the DMs tough.
Like,
and it's
yo,
like, nigga,
you
what?
bad, and they're not even like Uncle Rich. So like they're not like, yo, I have my own company. They're
Right.
like, yo, you know, I'm still at the factory for 35 years making 60 grand. They're like, hey, I can take care of you. It's just like, nah, you really can't.
I be like, my homegirl just sent me a message that this dude left her the other day. And I honestly heard that message and was like, the audacity of these niggas. Like, dude, the audacity of dudes, the ego, the like, who do you think you are?
Well, I mean,
I was like, when did you meet him? She said yesterday. And
Yeah.
he left a message like he had known her for how dare you, blah, blah. Nigga, I met you yesterday.
yeah,
Yesterday.
a lot of crazy people out there. I think the
How
pandemic,
dare you?
pandemic is having a lot of effects on people's mentality and mental. But yeah,
Yesterday.
I think when you're on social media, it also gives you the guts to say anything you want to say.
Well, that's the thing. This was in person. She met the guy.
And he went off for her in person.
She met the guy. Exchanged info, whatever, and they made a date. And something came up. She had to cancel the date. Not even cancel. She said, let's reschedule. This nigga left a message. You wasting my time. I got a lot of shit going for me. Blah blah. What the fuck are you doing?
That means
Just reschedule the date, bro.
That means he's probably been canceling on a lot. And
Like,
here's the thing.
and he like said his resume, and I was like, this nigga has no game. He has no confidence.
He's
He
a
had to
loser, for
he's
sure.
He had to lose it. He listed his job. He listed his, I got my own place. But like he listed the attributes he felt like he should have for her to want to be a date. But she didn't even cancel. Nigga, she rescheduled.
Right. So
And
let
he
me-
went insane.
Well,
Did she reschedule the day or just say let's reschedule?
yeah.
Did she leave it open?
She
That's
said that,
different.
and he went off immediately.
So
like
I'll
he
say-
didn't even get a chance
Probably
to.
tied. That's some other shit.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
That's somebody
saying.
dealing with
Yeah,
some other
he
shit.
got
That's
some
what I'm
stuff going
saying.
on.
But,
I'll say
that
this-
happens often.
But let me ask you this though.
Oh, no, I can't speak on it. That's
how
another
many?
man
How many?
dealing with this.
You pretty much been in a relationship since like the dating app thing's been pretty much going on.
Right.
So you haven't been in that stage where like I've been in the stage where dating when you're on dating apps and bro, you can just take hella L's. You can get some
Oh,
W's,
yeah.
but it's like every time you swipe on, you got like 7 dates lined. You literally got a date for every day of the week with different women, and then they all will cancel. They all will give you some bullshit ass excuse, and a lot of times those excuses is because they got another dude that's
That's better.
you, right? And for a guy at a certain point in time, that can start to crush ego. For this particular guy, he's just a straight up loser, but ego was also crushed. It's like, yo, I'm a great catch, and you treated me poorly.
But if you were such a great catch,
I don't know. I would need more information.
I think
I can't draw a conclusion based on.
I saw the thread, and so that's why I was like, well, I understand being up. I'm thinking they have been talking for a while. The way he responded,
right.
and I said, well, maybe he just. How many times did you cancel him? She was like, I met this nigga yesterday, and I was like, he's insane.
Yeah, dealing with some other shit.
He's insane.
Yeah, he got mommy,
He's got
probably got
some
mommy
other shit
issues.
Yeah,
or
he's
lack
insane.
thereof.
But like, I guess because I talk to so many women, there's so many stories like this. Instead, they just don't share. They don't want to put people on blast. Like lately, what's been happening is, and maybe I'll start doing a segment on it. My female friends have been sending me
DM.
their threads and be like, look at the shit that they'd be like, post it. You talk about it. Because they don't want, because they're so nice, they don't want to, I don't want to put them on blast.
Well,
I don't want to.
it's different coming from them
Yeah.
versus coming from.
But they was like, look at this shit. And I'd be like, these niggas. And that's why I countered your, like, the average dude, and I've said this a lot of times, the niggas be losing.
Yeah.
Like, average
Yeah,
dude is
I
out
mean,
here
yeah, everybody.
losing. No
Yeah.
game, they don't know how to
men,
talk
most
to.
men are taking L's.
They
Yeah.
struggling.
for sure.
They
but all you need is
struggling.
one.
Huh?
All you need is one. It's always been a numbers game
Oh,
for
yeah.
dudes.
For
Well,
sure.
because dudes need to apply more of a baseball mentality. Like,
Yeah.
baseball,
It's
to
bad,
be a
yeah.
Hall of Famer, you have to hit the ball 30% of the time. That's it. To be a Hall of Famer, to be one of the greatest who ever did it, you only have to go 3 out of 10. So niggas need to apply that.
That's what I'm saying.
To women, you only got to go 3 out of 10, bro, to be a Hall
That's
of
what I'm
Famer.
saying. Dudes have something to get to that 3 out of 10. Like either he's got something, nigga. You're not just shooting shots and you're not getting better. Like that's all practice. Every shot you shoot is practice.
But that's
Like,
the thing, everybody ain't practicing. What happens is
Right.
after so many the first 7, they don't even try for the next 3.
Yeah. What you
They
think?
just
What
tap
they
out,
doing?
nigga.
What
They
they
just
doing?
video, like
Nah,
you
what they
said,
doing?
video gaming, angry,
building up all that anger.
shooting up
I gotta shoot
schools,
some
whatever
shit.
the fuck.
I gotta
Yeah,
shoot
nigga,
shit now.
shooting shit. Like they just getting on my threads, on my line. These bitches, whoa, nigga. What? Anytime I see a dude lead with these bitches, I'm like, who hurt
It's
you,
hurt.
bro?
Yeah.
Who
Well, also
hurt
too,
you?
I think a lot of dudes too, they, when you've been hurt that much, now they're looking for other outlets. Whether it is sex dolls, whether it's just watching porn, whether it's just looking at the girl that they admire and desire, and they be like, all right, I'll just jack off and then I just call it a day. I got my rocks off. It's like some dudes, they're not. Rejection hurts regardless. But at a certain point in time, you understand like this is part of the game is to get rejected.
But
some dudes don't understand that. This is like, nigga, I don't like feeling this way, which is fair too.
But I
think it
get
goes
it if they've been
beyond that.
losing the whole time. Like that sucks.
It goes beyond that because you got to factor in age too. As niggas getting older, starting to get a little more desperate. Women starting to get a little more desperate.
Right,
The shit's
right.
starting to look a little more. It's looking a little messy.
Bleak.
That's why niggas is like, man, fuck all that. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
tired of it. You know.
And women, they get
Yeah,
on there
yeah.
and they're like, no, 'cause
It's-
these niggas today, blah blah. That
it's-
time.
yeah, you
I
getting
feel like
older.
if we were younger, if we go back and look at our social media in our 20s, I don't feel like the energy was as intense as
Yeah.
now because, like he said, they're running out of time.
Mhm.
So they're just
That
running out of
ticking
time.
clock.
What I don't get is the younger people that be having so much energy. I'm like, shit, your ass,
When
relax,
You're supposed to be
relax,
angry. You're supposed to be angry.
like
We're also
relax.
angry, but
That's a
also
part
too-
of youth.
But also too, you grew up in a world where you get to express yourself online.
Yeah.
So it's like we didn't grow up in that. We had to suppress our stuff. We had to kind of.
No, we talked to people in real life. That's what we did.
that too, or we just kept it to ourselves.
Yeah.
They
Like,
get
nigga,
it.
these
We sound
niggas,
old as fuck.
these niggas.
But these niggas.
I
like-
remember back in my day, we used to talk to people in person.
But I mean,
In real life, nigga.
technology just moves so fast that it sounds like that, but it's like only like maybe like 10, 15 years ago. But it's just like these
It wasn't
kids-
even that. Like the how social media is now is newer. Like how where everybody. Cause remember when Twitter came out, everybody was kind of like, "What is this thing?" You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
like
what is-
2009.
yeah, like what is this? And we weren't even on it because I didn't get on Twitter until like a year or two later. And IG I was late too. So it's
What are
like
you-
it's
what are you-
newer.
I used to ask you, wasn't it like the prompt was like, what are you thinking? Kind of in that like that
Yeah.
shadowy like, what are you thinking?
Because when that
Yeah.
shit dropped, I'm already late 20s. So I was already grown. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's not.
But I would
It's
say
newer.
this
It's
too.
all new, dude, and it's all evolving.
Yeah.
It's all changing.
Yeah.
And we're all trying to like, nigga, we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
But we act like it, like we have no idea.
We're all trying to figure it out.
Nigga,
And then-
the AI is coming. Nigga, all this shit is over.
And then once we figure this out, it's gonna move to another level. I mean, sooner or later, you're gonna be able to have, like you said, the AI shit. You're gonna be able to have an AI nigga holler at a girl for you.
Oh, nigga, I already asked AI.
You
how, the
holla-
fuck- how you
holla-
approach a bitch at the bar? And the AI was like, yo, well, you go up to her, you greet
Buy
her,
her a
you
drink.
tell her your name, you ask her to buy her a drink. I'm like, this AI don't know shit.
No, no,
no
nothing.
goddamn drink.
What's funny though is
In a
like
few years it will though, nigga.
what's funny is all the stuff y'all talk about with that stuff. There's books on all this. That shit don't work. Nigga.
Yeah, none of that
Like,
shit
none
work.
of
It's all-
Remember that show, The Pickup Artist? That shit. I remember watching that shit and watching these loser dudes, and that shit was probably staged as fuck.
So let me ask you this: Do you think that's a con game for some dudes when it
What?
comes to like the dudes that write those type of like books like that or those?
Yeah, they're
this
taking
is the-
advantage of the
I think
loser dudes.
Yeah.
But I also think it is a science to it. I don't think we're
sure.
all
I think
that.
it's a
I
science
think
to it,
you.
too.
I think
Oh,
if you
for
know the
sure.
science of
For
women,
sure.
you can kind of break it down and manipulate the situation to your favor. I don't know if it'll last long term, but I definitely
Yeah.
feel like it can get you, in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm trying not to speak too much on it because they always shut me down.
Well, who shut you down?
The internet every time.
With you too, or
No, people. Like
Oh.
when it comes to
Nigga, speak on it. That's why we're here.
No, but I'm saying as far as they're not gonna value my opinion because they say I come from a privilege.
Oh, the
So
two
they're
parent
like-
is it two parent or
The
the
two-
attractive?
just with women.
Which
They're
one?
like,
Oh.
yeah, they're like, you don't like when niggas be in my comments. It's not even the women. It'd be dudes. They'd be like, nigga, you don't live my life,
Right. Okay.
so you don't know. Like
don't know.
how we say like, why is it so hard to do
Yeah.
this and that? Or there's a sign. Just be confident with it, nigga. It's easy for you to
Yeah.
say.
It's always been. I mean, I wouldn't
what I
say
mean?
it's always been easy for me. Like I've never been, the top draft pick. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I've always been like second, third round. But nigga, I figured out
I got drafted.
how to get my
I got
how
drafted.
to figure my shit out. And
you start to know your
maneuver.
place in that sense, and then you start to also know what type of girls. Or like, all right, these type of girls normally
Are
like
attracted
me.
to me,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's what you start to go towards those type of girls. The same thing with them. It's like, all right, when you see like a white girl with ass, you see her with a black dude a lot of times because it's like, all right, the white guys didn't necessarily mess with me because I had ass because they don't like that. but all the black guys just kept giving me attention. So you know what? I kind of like. I'm gonna go towards this way.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean,
that makes sense.
I mean, the discussion we had with Keon was always his lack of empathy. That's what you always go like, how do you not? Instead of being like, all right, I can see how. Like when I look at certain dudes, because like I said, I was never. I was a. Sometimes I'd be a top draft pick. Sometimes I'd be on the bottom somewhere in the middle. It just depended on the girl I was going after. To be honest with you, and it's just like I can understand the empathy of. I can empathize with a dude that's just like. Kind of maybe awkward looking or just socially awkward.
Oh no, I get that.
And then being like, all right, I can see how he doesn't have this, so I can relate to that, like empathy.
No, I get that. Like, cause I had a homeboy tell me the other day, he was like, I don't really like bad chicks, and I was like, nigga, who doesn't? That's a lie. Like, who doesn't like that? And then he thought about it some more, and he was like, well, I never went after, like I never pulled them.
Yeah.
So then I just don't, like you said, I go for who
likes me in a sense.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, say that, but don't say everybody wants a baddie.
You're
like,
mad at bad chicks.
You're like, no, he's not mad at all.
No,
Like,
no.
he's not mad at all. No, like, he's not
it's
mad at all.
sad. I mean, to me, it sounds like it's still a little bit of
He
like,
just,
if I don't like them,
because he said, oh, I'm not even into that, and I was like, yes, you are. Like, he was like, well, I never had one, and I was like, okay, well,
yeah,
that's understandable, but and he's not bad looking. He just his thing is the confidence of it all.
Yeah,
it's fucked up. All of it's fucked up because it's kind of like a chicken or the egg thing. You know what I mean? Like, are you born with the confidence? Do you gain the confidence from constantly taking W's? Do you lose confidence for taking L's all the time? Like, I wonder what.
And then we we don't know what we're doing because we entered into a space where women didn't even like niggas with confidence.
Yeah.
Like the beta male thing was like hot as fuck for a minute. So it's like it's always ever changing, huh?
In the black world though.
I don't think it was.
I don't think with black men.
I don't think it is even. I think that's a small percentage of people saying shit like that just to get dudes to be a little softer. But you get to the core of it, you talk to women behind closed door. Don't nobody want no bitch ass nigga. Don't nobody want no bitch ass nigga.
I mean,
they just want us to be. They want us to have more empathy and feel, like be nicer. But at the end of the day, still.
And then men take that and twist it into like this whole fucking.
So you want a bitch?
I'm so.
Or because they're trying to figure out the science. They course correct too far, and then now they become a pushover, and nobody respects you.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're doing. Like, nobody knows what they're doing. They're just trying to succeed.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's not probably fully explained from both parties, right? It's like, if the woman explains, it's like, all right, this is kind of what I want. Not that I want you softer or a beta male. It's just like, yo, I would like for you to value my feelings from time to time when I talk about this, or just listen to me, blah, 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 blah. So the guy be like, okay, cool. I can have those moments. Whereas, like you said, you just go, like, just be softer. So guys go, all right, I'm just going to be a full-out bitch ass nigga.
And I tell you,
it's too far.
I don't know if women know what they want. I would say with confidence that women know that they want to feel a certain way. How to go about that, is anybody's guess.
Right.
But, like, I want to feel this. Like,
yes, true, yeah.
Because even when, like, I get into a heated, discussion or disagreement, my girl's just like, I don't like the way that you made me feel. So in my mind,
you made me feel this way.
I had to go sort of recalibrate and like think about it, and it took me, and I at one point I came to the conclusion at one point I sensed,
relapsed.
Nah. But like I was like, hold on. I was like, in order for this to work, I really have to like just let her have shit. Just let her have it all. In terms of like, I just gotta shut the fuck up and just let shit exist as it does. Cause there would be things like where she would be wrong about, and I would mention it or speak on it, and it would be like, oh, you're so critical. I'm like, but to me, I'm like, well, no, I was just correcting something that was incorrect.
Because we're natural problem solvers. It's always back to that. Is that we go,
but then you develop the identity of like, oh, he's always so critical of me.
Right.
And I don't like the way that makes me feel. So it's like, okay, so now I got to shut the fuck up then.
Well, I think no, I don't think you do. I think there just has to be an understanding of where you both come from. So knowing where she's coming from, and if that's the situation which is happening right now, she's supposed to get her feelings out. It might just be time for you to be like, all right, cool, let me not say anything. It's not. It doesn't move anything forward if I try to correct what she's saying. She's pretty much just not in all cases, but sometimes there could just be word vomiting. Just saying a bunch of stuff to just get it out. Cool, I got all this out. Ooh, that's my feelings. They're expressed.
Yeah.
And you being like, well, that's actually wrong. Just being like, you're invalidating my feelings. It's just like, it's not what I was trying to do. I was just trying to get to the actual point of this.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta let that ride and probably even come back later and be like, all right, let's bring it back.
But it just be like little shit. It'd be like little shit, and then
Like-
to me, it feels like I was like in my head, I was like, dude, it doesn't matter like what the truth is, because I've always been like I've always like, what's the truth? I don't give a fuck if I'm right. I don't give a fuck if I want to know what the truth is. And to me, I was like, it's not about the truth. The only thing that matters is how you make her feel. That's the only thing that she's gonna remember at the end of all this, how you made her feel. So it's up to me to ensure that she feels valued, praised, all that shit. I guess, I don't know, on a consistent basis, like all the time. I don't know.
Do you think it's actually up to you? I think that's a problem. I think this goes back to what I always say: therapy. There needs to be somebody needs to go to therapy for that, because it's like you shouldn't be the one that has to validate her feelings. That's
Right.
a her thing. It's the same thing with you. It's like she shouldn't have to do the same.
But
thing
also
to
shouldn't
you.
be like hypercritical over like trivial shit.
That's true too. But I think there's a balance of both. Like, there needs to happen. It's just like, all right, cool. That person needs to work on their end about, all right, I shouldn't be going to you to validate my feelings. But then also too, it's just like, all right, do you have to criticize every single little thing? And do you get off on that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You
I
know
don't
what I'm
know.
saying?
Maybe I do.
And if you do, that's a you problem. That's like,
Yeah.
nigga, that's a kind of.
But shit don't appear. It doesn't feel critical to me when I'm like talking about like things.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like actual thing, not about you personally, but just like, oh, this will be more efficient this way. If we did this way, it would be more efficient. It would be a little better. You know what I mean?
What
I think most of our criticism. I mean, I can speak on that from a married perspective. Like, it's just efficiency. Most of our critiques is just because this didn't need to go this way.
Yeah.
So, like, how do we make this easier so we have time or space to do other things, whether it's mental space, time, whether it's physical. Like, if we did this way, this ship would run smoother. We just niggas is just trying to have shit run smooth. That's it.
Yeah.
And they're so used to operating in.
I feel criticized. I feel like I'm less than. Yeah.
And then I think they just in life though, they operate in chaos, like up here.
Well, they got a lot going on.
So much going on. Yeah. So to them, they're like, well, I don't see the problem with this because I'm used to operating in freaking madness up here. We're like, well, that's taking too much energy, or that's taking too much time, or whatever. So like,
I don't think we would even mind if you didn't complain afterwards. Like, if you operated in this space and you just, like you said, you held yourself accountable, like, all right, I messed up here, so let me just fix it myself and get it done. So that now you coming back, getting mad at us, expressing your frustration with us of how it went this way, instead of just listening to us. Because a lot of times what happens sometimes with my things, it's like, yo, my thing is if you do it my way, like you said, it's more efficient, less problems. You're not going to be mad, even though it's different from what you've done it for in your way. And then she'll do it her way, and she'll get frustrated. And now she's taking her frustration out on me. She's angry, and I'm just like, yo.
But the whole time we're like, but it didn't have to be this way.
It didn't have to be this way. But if they did it their way and didn't express those things, I think I probably wouldn't necessarily have an issue after. I wouldn't even necessarily argue.
But my thing is like, okay, so your thing, it didn't work. Okay, so the other day, I was just having a day. Or nigga, I was just getting everything wrong. Like, we were going down the street and I took a wrong turn. I don't know why I did. Like, so it took long, and she was just like, "What is going on with you today?" I'm like, "Nigga, I don't know."
Glitch in the Matrix.
But every time I did something, I was like, me, that was bad, that was bad.
Yeah.
Like, she was like, "Why don't you turn down this street?" And I just didn't, and I'm like, "You right?" Like, it wasn't hard for me to be like, I'm having a day. I am having a day. And she laughed at me. I was laughing at me. Like, I don't know what's going on today. I'm all over the place. Like, I can't. She texted me something. I brought home the wrong stuff. Like, I had a day. And I was like, what is going on? But it was easy for me to just be like, nah. Like, I did that.
It's because you have other shit.
I don't know if it's just that. I don't know if it's
It's just not hard.
And it's very. You had a day. Like, you don't have weeks and months, and you know what I mean. It's just what you had one day. But imagine. Oh, you asked for an example. When Jess and I first moved in together, she would cook meals here and there, and it would be how it would be.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the best. It would be just meh. It would be meh meals.
Yeah.
Because she put meh effort into it.
Right.
So I was being honest about my critique of the food. I'm like, oh, it's all right. I mean,
Did she ask you, or you just said it?
That's a good question. That's a really good question.
Because if you just said it, then
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's kind of.
normally,
I don't know.
Yeah, because normally, I know Janelle normally cooks in our house, and normally when she cooks, she'll be like, "So how you like it?" She normally asks me because, especially if she's cooking something new. She's cooking something that she's cooked before. She doesn't say anything.
And she needs a critique because she wants to improve on it. So that's
Yes.
different. That's different.
Yes.
Exactly.
If you're asking though, if you didn't
Right.
ask,
If
you
you
think you
didn't
got
ask.
it.
If you started, you
didn't
like,
ask.
ooh,
That's
this
right.
shit,
So if you didn't ask,
Right.
that means I do this, and then if you didn't
Yeah.
like it, it's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I don't do this.
Hold on. Fuck. Did she ask?
that's
different.
very, That's very
That's
big.
very
and
different.
That's
That is very
big
different.
because it's like normally I would say my wife over 95%. I say 95% of the meals or so she's on point. And then a few of the meals that's not on point. Normally we both kind of just like this ain't it. This ain't the one. And normally we both agree. Like so, but she always asks me. I never if I'm sitting there I'm eating I'm not saying anything. And then she might ask me, so you didn't say anything.
I'm gonna.
I'll be like, I mean, it was,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's cool.
Damn, I don't know the nature or the origin
Yeah.
of how like that
That's
that dynamic was established, but eventually, through the course of time, she's kind of come to love cooking, and now the meals are fire.
But I would say this too, though.
Oh, so you just think she didn't have the effort?
She didn't no, and it wasn't her inability. It was just
Right.
she didn't put the effort
she didn't
into
care.
it.
But I'll say this too.
But you know what? No, I'm sorry.
But I don't know if she
I
asked.
was just gonna say this can go back to even what you were saying before about like you being critical of her. It's like I don't know how much you just say things without her asking or without her asking your opinion for anything.
I would say
If
a few things.
you're being critical about stuff when she's not really asking about stuff, she's probably just like, dog, you're on my ass on everything.
Yeah.
And that's a fair point.
Yeah, that is fair. Yeah.
It's just like, and then you have to ask yourself, why are you so critical of her when she's not even asking you?
Because I love efficiency, but yeah.
And it's just when you're blending, you're used to doing this, they're used to doing that.
For
so
sure.
you're gonna. But I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say it. So
Go ahead.
what I was gonna say is, I wonder if her passion for cooking coincide with you being pleased with it.
Yes.
Like she's like,
I would
he's
say yes.
happy, so this makes me feel
100%.
good, so I'm gonna try more. So
100%.
it's like, not like she's saying she's trying to please, but people want their spouses to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like if you like something, they gonna go in
Yeah.
because
nigga, she goes in now. Like
you know what I
she,
mean? Yeah.
she can, like she
and
can actually
she
cook
just
now.
probably watching you eat. Like, look at him eating.
Do you
my
when you
food.
say this too when it comes at least from a meal perspective? Because I've said this to my wife before. Do you think when you guys are having a bad day with each other that the effort of the meal is not as good, or the love of the meal is
Hold on a
like?
second. Hold on, Jess.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a quick question.
What?
You remember like back when you used to
Tell her on the podcast.
when you used to no, just listen.
He said, "Oh God,
Listen.
hi Jess."
The fella said, "What's up?" Okay, so you've been on a journey like cooking wise, right?
Okay.
It's been a journey. Like you cooking now and it's fire, right?
See, this is the shit you be doing, nigga.
Hold on. No, because they were asking. Because I was like, I don't know how it came out, but earlier on, I would be like critical of the food, right? Were you asking me how I liked it, or was I just coming out with that?
I never asked.
Oh,
Shit. Okay, all right. I'll talk to you
See?
later.
Team Jess.
Aboard!
She said no.
So, all right, there we go.
No.
Never asked.
So fast,
The
so fast.
majority-
I have never asked
The
you.
majority of something that Gary talks about is his fault. He's just hyper.
Hey, I'm open to it. I'm open to it.
He's
I said,
hypercritical.
but I definitely said I didn't know.
Yeah.
That was a fair point because I was
Said,
like, I don't know.
I never asked you. I never asked for your raggedy ass opinion, nigga.
Just eat it. Just eat the goddamn food.
Yo,
That's fair.
That nigga Gary, this is now this man's Gary in the house like, who the fuck made this? Who seasoned this? She's just like, bro, like you on my nigga, just like
That's
let
funny.
me ride.
But now it's fire.
But that's what I'm saying though. Now I would question a lot of the things and why like you said she's always kind of like or when she gets defensive. It's just like
How many
It makes
unasked
sense
for,
why she's
unsolicited
Yeah,
things
yeah,
have been
yeah.
said?
I'm on her side of why she's defensive now. This
Yeah.
is the case. It's like
Yeah,
it's not
it
on
makes
her.
sense.
It's kind of like, all right, I'm kind of like, and like you said, you might like efficiency or you might like it, the way to go this way, but it's just like, yo, you're blending, like you said, you're blending two homes, two worlds are clashing, they're colliding, and they're not going to be the same in everything, every single thing. So you got to kind of give that grace and time and be like, all right, cool. I have to learn this new thing. I have to understand that she just does things differently. It's like it's literally my girl. There's some things we're polar opposite on, And I had to tell her, it's like, yo, I don't do it this way, but I get it done my way. And it's just like, unless my way is like messing up the household or destroying whatever it is, chill, let me do it my way. And it's just like, and then she'll be like, all right, when I tell her to do it my way, I was like, unless like it's less efficient or the same thing, do it your way. It's fine.
Right.
I'm not tripping on that. You know what I'm saying?
I got a question now. So, how do we go from bad food to good food without like what's the course of action there?
Oh, yeah, because she would have never asked you.
If she never asked, yeah.
I don't know.
How do we get there?
Do you think your criticism actually made her feel good, or you think she just started being like, all right, cool.
I think she took on a challenge eventually and like started throwing down and putting more effort and care into it. And now she owns it. She loves it.
Okay.
But
So
I
you're
do
asking-
agree.
you're
She
actually-
didn't ask. I should have shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but you're asking, but how do? So I can't
How
just
do I
sit here.
get to
I
good-
can't just
how
sit
do
here
I-
and eat bad food every day.
Nigga, how do I get?
So
how do I get there?
How do
Well,
I
I
bring
mean,
up?
you could've-
But I think there's ways to be like,
Therapy?
hey,
You could have got there.
I gotta go to therapy. Nigga, to get a good meal. We're going to couples therapy. I already set it up. This next week.
No, what I'm saying is you could have went about it probably different than the way you did. Like you because like I'm guessing if I'm going off the Gary tone, it's just like it's kind of like it's very critical. Like they go like, what is this? Instead
No,
of
I
being
wasn't. I wasn't
but
hard
even-
like that.
But even in the sense, it's just
'Cause I
like
know she's sensitive.
or like after the meal is done, not even during, like after the meal is done, and then talking about like this having a conversation about cooking. You could have went about it probably still differently in a softer way to where it's like, you know, it would have been less critical while being critical. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
we should start watching cooking shows.
Yeah.
That stuff.
Okay.
Or get it.
Why?
or like-
Because you think that you don't like the way that I make it.
Well, the last thing that you made, I've had it before, and I've had it, with a little more flavor. What was the issue with
So
it?
you gotta-
Just lack of flavor?
No, just like an effort for real.
I told my girl
Flavor,
before,
effort, all the shit.
Just about to my girl before.
It's so long ago I don't even really remember. Like,
She made me.
She remembered quickly.
Yeah.
oh yeah, she was like,
I never asked you.
Yeah.
It was so fast. You didn't even finish the sentence. When we watch
I
this back,
never asked.
you didn't even finish the sentence. So, did I ever? I never asked you. So fast.
But I'll say this. Like I'll say this. My girl, she made me the same meal before, and I've been like, and she didn't make it with the same love because of like we were probably arguing earlier that day. Whatever the case may be. Sometimes it's that too. Just like
And that just happens in general with cooking.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't always gonna taste the same.
you go miss here and there, or I think when you do make meals from love and like when my girl's in a good mood, she's trying to I made this meal. I was like I know like she made us like this really good like Mexican shrimp bowl yesterday, and when she made it. And she knows I like Chipotle, so she'd be like, I put it down. So I was like, this is honestly better than Chipotle. I was like, the only thing I would like, and she was asking me, of course. And I was like, the only thing I would probably do instead of the avocado is just do actual guac instead of avocado. And then she's like, don't say it's better. You love Chipotle. I was just like, this is honestly better than Chipotle to me. Personally, like I do like that.
I mean, most home cooked shit is better than
Then takeout.
bullshit
Hold
you're
on,
gonna eat
one more.
outside.
Hey Jess.
Yeah.
So what did I used to say? Because I don't remember.
Oh, you just used to give like subtle hints while I was cooking. You'd be like, I feel like if maybe you turn the stove down a little, that might work better, or like maybe a little bit more pepper. You just like give me subtle hints.
Okay. But I never just outright like, yo, this shit is trash.
You'd never be like, this is disgusting. You might be like, I'm not really that hungry, or like you wouldn't finish it, and then I'd be like, okay, he didn't like it.
See, I'm a good person, right?
Um,
Because they are dragging me right now. They are fucking dragging me.
I think he owes you an apology.
I
Hey.
think he does too.
Babe,
disgusting.
I apologize for what I used to do, and I'm glad that I've evolved and I don't do that anymore, and that we have and that we have an
She
electric
said
stove.
you haven't evolved. I'm just better. And
Evolved, I got better.
Jess, he did say that he's been raving about how good you are now.
Yes, he
Yeah.
has been.
Oh, well, that's because I follow recipes really closely.
Is the effort?
All
Well, he
right.
did say it's good now.
All right, I'll holler at you. Bye.
She said, you didn't evolve. I just got better.
And she said something else that I kind of forgot, but it's like you was like I became like this is the person. He's like, no, I'm a better person. You were just like, she was kind of like, not really.
I've adjusted to your shit.
Right,
Is
right.
what's happened.
This nigga said hey, maybe turn the heat.
Nigga, she would have the stove flaming. I was like, yo, this is supposed to be simmering. Nigga, this shit would be boiling all over the.
That shit remind me of David Arnold. Rest in peace, David Arnold. He had a joke about how his wife used to cook on tick, 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 tick. Oh man, he's like, why you cooking on tick, 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 tick?
Oh
Why you
yeah,
cooking
yeah,
on
yeah.
that? I was like,
That's on boil. That's as high as it can be.
that is hilarious, man. So man, that's what I thought
I
immediately.
feel
thought
a
of
little
that,
bit better about myself now.
She didn't say you ripped her.
Yeah.
She said, "Oh."
Because when we say critical, immediately we're like, oh, nigga, you were like.
She said, "No, I just knew."
What is this, Jess?
He didn't like it.
I was like, nigga, I'm not that abrasive. All right, I feel much better.
Yeah, that's fair.
Whew. Turn it
fair.
down a little.
He's
bit.
like, I think Gary was like, nigga, am I an evil nigga?
I was sitting there thinking.
Wait a second, I could be an actual evil nigga at this point.
Like, I was like, I know I used to be critical, and I know she didn't used to ask, but like, how the fuck exactly did I used to go about doing that?
Yeah.
So that
The fact that she remembers.
yeah,
All of it.
Oh, all of it. Yeah.
All of it. And actually, it was one Thursday. We were about to go pick up Pilot.
March 16th.
That's funny.
My boy, you got a dip, huh? Oh yeah, you got a dip. I wanted to unpack a little situation.
Like, I gotta leave in probably like 10.
Okay. A friend of mine who's still single, our age, mind you, nigga, like this is like desperate. You know what I mean? Like we're time is running out. But anyway, him and a group of his friends, he kind of curates not events, but he like brings people together and like everybody goes out together. So within the group,
Like dating, like the couples?
nah, just like, you know, let's all go to the club. Like he's still like kind of clubbing in a way, but this happened at Soho House, the social club. Yeah. This happened at Soho House, like at like the sort of the end of the night. I guess it was like a little dance party type thing. But a dude out of his crew and a girl from the crew that they don't know each other, but I think she was sitting down and he was kind of like dancing, like, you know, while she was sitting, but she was like kind of vibing with him too. And I think, what ended up happening is he like touched her, like he like ran his hand down her back into her ass, and she like grabbed his hand and was like, "Do not touch me," right? And he like apologized, like vehemently, like, "Oh, I'm sorry, like my bad."
Yeah.
And she ended up going into the bathroom and like I don't know, had like a fucking mental breakdown and was like crying and shit and just like, and my boy doesn't know anything about any of this. He's in like a bar in the other room. But probably like, 20 minutes later, she comes back with management to like remove the dude. Yeah. And they kind of like blindsided my boy and his boy. And my boy's like, what the fuck? And they like aggressive, like, y'all gotta go. Yeah. And they're like, nigga, I'm a member here. You know what I mean? Yeah. And she's like, he needs to leave and just kind of going off on 10. And so they ended up, all that shit ended up exploding. And my boy was hella mad. He was mad at his boy for being like groping her.
Right.
And he was really mad at her too for escalating it to that point without telling him. Right. For the nigga who like brought everybody together.
Right. Oh. Yeah. So he knew both parties.
He knew both parties.
But the girl and the guy didn't.
They didn't. Oh, yeah. But he's like, my boy is known. He's like a little touchy. He's like one of them niggas who's a little touchy.
Why you inviting a touchy nigga out? You know what I mean? You gotta own that.
If you know that nigga,
you gotta own that.
You be messing up the situation, but like you be messing up the
Don't
situation.
go include him. So
but he was mad at her too for taking it there, getting management involved like that without
and
I was
bro.
like, I don't know.
If he touchy, that's the risk you run, bro. Also too, don't invite the touchy, like
or keep an eye on this nigga. Hey, bro, like. You be doing a lot, bro. Don't be
doing the touchy shit.
Especially here.
So you feel like her reaction was 100% valid?
I don't know, but I don't know her history. I don't know her. Yeah. I don't know what place she went to.
Right,
but
exactly,
I didn't ask you to touch me. I know that.
Yeah.
It's not like he graced her back. Like
he just thought it was a little. He thought her response to it was excessive.
Well, I mean, if he ran his hand down her back all the way to her ass. Mm-hmm. I
don't know the nature of it. I know he he touched her inappropriately.
Yeah. And so I don't think she's out of line. I think the nigga, especially he has a history of being touchy. Yeah. This nigga needs to learn lessons. Yeah. Like
once this is who he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm arguing. I'm going back and forth, and I'm like, nigga, you can't tell her how to feel. He's like, but she kind of did too much.
He was embarrassed.
He was embarrassed. He's like, why you getting management involved? Like you making us look all like, you know what I mean?
Right. Which that part I understand his anger as a black man being like, you made me look like a fucking.
Yeah.
Right.
I get that. However, going all the way back to accountability, knowing your nigga's touchy, he shouldn't have been out.
Right.
And that eliminates everything
all
else.
The shit,
because you don't invite that nigga. So I understand you being pissed, But if you really reflected and be like, but I should have never invited that nigga, and the night would have been great.
And and especially if he's the gropey nigga,
Right.
you bugging, bro, to bring him.
That's
out.
why.
Right.
I mean,
Now you don't. Now I'm just saying, like maybe all right, that happened like one time. But it's like you're known as the
Right.
gropey nigga
Right.
in the group.
That's
You-
which is
you-
disgusting.
you-
First of
the
all,
fuck doesn't even know
why are
that
you in
yet?
the group? Why are you